When it comes to making investments or putting money away in the bank, there's an old Chinese proverb that fits very nicely into the strategies that we should take, where this says that the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago, the second best time is now. And for this, what we're going to be looking at is sort of that idea where what we want to describe is the amount of money we have to put into some form of investment if we have a final value in mind and know the rate both in terms of the interest as well as the amount of time it's going to take. Where if we're talking about something that has a finite number of compounding periods, basically all we do is we just take the formula and, well, divide out the rate thingy. So you get P is equal to A over 1 plus R over N raised to the NT, and then the same thing happens if we're talking about compounding interest that goes continuously. P is equal to A over ERT. It's pretty straightforward algebra. I'm not going to bore you with the details there because there aren't that many details to bore you with. Instead, we're going to look at an example. Suppose you want to take a trip around the world for your 40th birthday and start saving now. I'm assuming you're 20 for this example, by the way. If you estimate that it would cost $25,000 for the trip and set up a CD, Certificate of Deposit, with 6.5% interest that compounds monthly to pay out in 20 years to cover it, how much would you need to initially deposit for that to work? So, in this case, we have the values that we need. A is 25,000. R is 6.5%, so 0.065. T is that period 20 years. We're going to be sitting on this for a little while. And N equals 12. I'm trying to fund your midlife crisis here. You're going to wait a little bit to get there. So, if we need to find P, P is just going to be equal to A over 1 plus R over N to the NT, just like we have over there because we're talking about monthly compounding interest, where A is that value 25,000. 1 is always 1. It's very nice in that way. R here, as we said, is 0.065. Some bad handwriting. N is 12. N is still 12. And T is 20. Yeah, it's not going to be very nice to do that by hand. Don't do that by hand. Get your calculator to do these types of jobs for you. It's better for your health. But in this case, our initial investment will have to be about $6,827.24, which understandably is quite a lot on your budget, but hey, you can get all these things set up. It's actually pretty reasonable for sitting on it for 20 years, and it's probably a bit more possible than just randomly having 20,000 or 25,000, lying around, unless inflation really kills us, in which case that's not going to do what you want it to anyway, but let's be a little bit more positive. Anyway, we're going to finish this section up, we're going to finish this week up by talking about something a little bit abstract, not in the way of E, but more in the way of being able to connect these ideas here to simple interest through things called effective rates.